John Carpenter reveals his favorite Halloween sequel trilogy movie at a New York Comic Con panel. And I'm wondering, will it be 2018? Will it be Kills? It's probably going to be Ends, right? But I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? We're going to talk about something that John Carpenter talked about at a New York Comic Con panel. It's in a new article on Screen Rant, and I found it fascinating because he's revealing which of the David Gordon Green Halloween films is his favorite. And I'm telling you right now, I was thinking, is he going to pick what I think he's going to pick? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think he was going to pick before I tell you. But first of all, don't forget to the like button. It helps to support the channel. I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to the Nightwatch Zone, this is the time to do it. Please do it and join our fantastic and amazing movie community. So, in the article from Screen Rant, it says Halloween franchise creator and original director John Carpenter weighs in on the films in the reboot trilogy, revealing which one is his favorite. After numerous entries in the long-running horror saga, which began with Carpenter's original in 1978, director David Gordon Green took a stab at the franchise with 2018's Halloween, a direct sequel to the first film. The soft reboot was a hit, and Green followed the film with Halloween Kills in 2021, and then the extremely divisive Halloween Ends in 2022, with Carpenter serving as an executive producer on all three. Let me just say this to give everyone a little bit of backdrop in case you haven't seen any of my Halloween videos, which hopefully I hope you do, and if not, please check it out. I have a playlist of all of them covering all of the films and tons of information, news, thoughts, deep dives, and so forth. I really enjoyed this trilogy by David Gordon Green. It is definitely not perfect, but there are a lot of great things in these films. Even in Halloween Ends, there's some good stuff in it. And I know it's very divisive. I know a lot of people were not given what they expected, and I understand that. I wasn't given what I was expecting either. But to some degree, that was interesting to kind of see what was the route they were going to take. I do have certain feelings on what they should have done, even in the context of the movie, that I think would have made fans more happy. But that's neither here nor there. But definitely with 2018, I really enjoyed 2018. And I think Halloween Kills had a lot of great stuff in it. And if you're wanting a Michael Myers movie with a lot of carnage and some great scenes of Michael just wrecking people, then Kills is the movie for you as well. But, I'm sitting here wondering, what is John's point of view on this? Because being, an associate producer on it and working on the soundtrack, when I first heard he was going to do that, my thought was, wow, John has not been involved with Halloween forever. And a lot of that was because he's just disconnected from the franchise. He made his movie. He was contracted to get Halloween 2 going. He tried to do something different with 3 and it didn't work out. And then he was like, peace, I'm out of here.
You're goddamn right.
And I get it, he definitely let the franchise become its own thing. So when they said he was going to be a part of this and also working on the soundtrack and seeing all the behind the scenes and interviews and stuff, I was like, wow, they really found a way to get John Carpenter on board. He must, at least to some degree, even if it's a small degree, be on board with what they're doing, as far as respecting the vision that they have for this trilogy, or at least with 2018, because that's where it started out. So anyways, this article gives us some really good insight to that. Now, speaking at a New York Comic-Con panel, of which Screen Rant was in attendance, Carpenter reveals that despite the 2018 movie being the best reviewed of the new Halloween trilogy, it's not actually his favorite. That honor, the filmmaker reveals, goes to Halloween Kills. Wow. So He's going with Kills on this, guys. That is crazy. I personally did not expect that. I thought he would have went with 2018. I think 2018 is the better film. It's better from A to Z, but Halloween Kills has a lot of great things in it. James Drew Courtney was fantastic in all three movies, but I definitely think Kills was able to showcase James to such a cool degree, man. And I'm just talking about the scenes, the kills, the practical work, um, the lighting on the mask, the way that just everything was awesome. That's not even counting the 78 recreation scene, which was wow, just all the great things they did with that. So Kills is definitely a movie that has a lot of great things. I know a lot of folks, they get upset because of the fact of The Evil Dies Tonight, which, when I've done watch parties for it, yes, it should have been cut in half easily, if not more. But it's not like that's the whole movie. You're talking about just a couple of minutes of the hospital scene, which definitely could have been pared down, no doubt. But that doesn't negate all the awesome stuff in the film. I know some folks, they're not happy about how it turned out, which to me is crazy because I think it's a really great. It's a Michael Myers movie. That movie is about Michael Myers and about Haddonfield, the effect that he's had on Haddonfield, and I think it's a really interesting thing. You never see these types of things explored in horror movies, at least this a major slasher horror film, and I think they were able to do it to a fairly successful degree. I mean, there was a lot of things they were balancing, but there was definitely some cool ass Michael Myers moments all throughout the film. So, but the article has John Carpenter quoted as saying, "I love the director, David. He's great. He wrote the screenplay with several other people, including Danny McBride, the comedian, who's a really terrific writer. I love what he did with it. Plus, they paid me to be an associate producer, which is really a bullshit position. Then I scored the soundtrack with my son, so that was a lot of fun. We had a blast. The cast and the crew were great, and I loved Halloween Kills. That was my favorite of the trilogy." Well, there you have it, guys. I think that it's right there. I know some people are probably thinking, well, he picked the wrong movie. It is what it is, man. As horror fans, we like what we like. I think with John Carpenter, and I could be wrong, but this is just a quick opinion I'm throwing out here. I think what he might have enjoyed about Halloween Kills is the fact that it was more removed from his film, but it did have some things they were trying to tackle, such as, the evil infecting the community of Haddonfield and what that looked like, and also these characters trying to deal with that, and Michael just continuing his journey. No rhyme or reason. Why are these things happening? The 78 recreation scene, which was an homage to Halloween 78. And I think it was really, really good. There's a part of me that's thinking John probably appreciated that. Whereas 2018 was much more like they didn't take as much risk with 2018. I love 2018, but they didn't take as much risk. There was they kind of followed the blueprint of 78. And then, of course, Halloween Ends, I think they really took a big swing, and they kind of missed out on a lot of opportunity to finish out this trilogy with Halloween Ends. So it kind of surprises me that he picks Kills, but in another way, it's kind of like, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. The article finishes off with saying, while Carpenter's 78 original remains horror royalty, many of the sequels and reboots do not. Critically, many of the sequels were not well received, and after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 in 2009, it was unclear how the franchise would continue. Green's 2018 movie, however, served as a breath of fresh air, scoring positive reviews from critics for its interesting new characters, the grisly kills, and for how it struck a unique balance between honoring Carpenter's original while pushing the franchise forward in new ways. Some of the momentum generated with 2018's Halloween, however, was lost upon the release of Halloween Kills. The second film in the reboot trilogy did not fare as well critically, scoring 39% on Rotten Tomatoes compared to its predecessor's 79%. While featuring some gory, shocking kills, the movie largely sidelined Laurie Strode and served as a suggestion that Green and co-writers Danny McBride and Scott Teems had some divisive ideas for the future of the franchise. The storyline involving Lance Tavalli in particular was a sign of things to come, with the movie's creative team clearly interested in exploring the dangers and consequences of alienation and mob violence. These themes came to the fore with Halloween Ends, a more widely criticized and a lackluster finale, in the storyline involving a new character named Corey. While Corey's inclusion allowed the filmmakers to explore how monsters like Michael Myers are created, for many, the movie wasn't the epic conclusion to Laurie and Myers' story that began in the original Halloween. So, what do you guys think? Were you thinking that John Carpenter was going to pick 2018? Was anyone thinking that he was going to pick Halloween Ends? You got to let me know that, man. Seriously. And laid out right in front of us, John Carpenter, as always, giving us a lot to think about. You just never know what he's going to say. And again, I know a lot of people will look at it like, he's just saying that. He just says stuff to say stuff. Look, the bottom line is, he's had a career that's been fantastic and has set the table for so many horror movies and filmmakers after himself that he's earned the right to say whatever he wants to say. But I do believe that he really does enjoy kills the most out of the trilogy, and I think I can understand why. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What's your favorite film in the David Gordon Green trilogy, if you had to pick one? And I know some people were going to say none of them are. That's perfectly fine. Let us know why. There's so many films in the franchise, and I've covered them all, and it is a roller coaster, but I do think there's some great stuff in this trilogy, most notably James Jude Courtney, who I believe is an absolute icon and a really awesome portrayal of Michael Myers. So let me know in the comment section down below. We can continue our discussion. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support the channel, and I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, this is the time to do it. Let's do it and continue to grow this community of so many fans of movies and especially horror. So watch some more movies, guys. I'll catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.